is more better. So let's begin. So today, what we'll be ideally talking about is these topics. So we will first have an overview on what the whole topic is about, why we need workforce management, and then we look into different kinds of bots. So before we look into different kinds of bots, what I would like to do is give everyone a brief baseline about what a bot is, and then we look at different kinds of bots that can help in different processes, their use cases. We'll also look at advantages of these bots and how we can combine different solutions. And at the end, we'll also look at, obviously, everyone is in the presentation to have or to know how it is optimized. So to put a figure on it, we will what we'll do is we'll also have a cost comparison, a basic cost comparison, so that we understand what it is. So let's begin. Yeah. 1 second, I just. Yeah. So yeah, so let's begin now. So an overview. So what is workforce optimization? So when we think of workforce optimization, we can think of ideally three keywords. We can think of efficiency, utilization, and effectiveness. What we mean by this is efficiency in the terms of a given process or a set process, a created process in an organization. You would ideally want it to run as efficient as possible. You don't you want to obviously make it 100% foolproof, 100% efficient, but in an ideal situation that really doesn't happen. So you always want to get it to the 100, but closest to the 100 is always best. Now, effectiveness of a process, effectiveness of a campaign would mean a higher ROI, or effectiveness of a campaign could be a higher reach, or more people are following the processes that are said. Now, utilization could be in the terms of a human resource. Utilization could be in terms of your network resources. You want to utilize any system you have in the office to its true potential. But to its true potential does not mean burn out the process, but means that we use it as well so that it can work for a long time, it can work productively for a long time, and it work efficiently for a long time. So again, just rephrasing, workforce optimization is, the Bible words are efficiency, utilization, and effectiveness. Now, why do we need these processes? So primarily, anyone wants to optimize the workforce looking at cost reduction. Now, when we say cost reduction, we have different types of cost reduction. You have cost reduction in terms of uh, people overheads. You have cost reduction in terms of how long a process would take. So there are many aspects to cost reduction. When I even say how long a process would take, if you had the right tools set and the right processes set in place, what would happen is that your a process that maybe would run 4 months could suddenly be done in half the time, which would again have a significant impact on the cost. So there are multiple factors that play into cost reduction. Similar to cost reduction, like I mentioned, is enhanced productivity. Same thing, a process that could be running in 4 months could finish in 2 months. And then that would mean that you are effectively utilizing each of the components to complete a task. Now, employee satisfaction. So you always want to think of a good employee or a happy employee as an employee that would efficiently work and give out more productivity. Now, an employee who is doing repetitive tasks day in and day out, they they might not like this. They want to move. Humans want to learn. Humans want to explore. Now, humans want to increase their overall view of the world. So now these repetitive tasks could be handed over to a system where the system would do this, and then people could be in more elevated positions where they can handle higher tasks that could be handled only by them. Now, the advantage of having these three processes or these 3 points is that you have a competitive advantage over people who don't do it. Now, a company that, say, for example, spends X amount of money in setting up a process, but they're not effectively doing it, and a company that spends half the money in that same process but is effectively doing it, your company would have a higher competitive advantage, just not in cost but also in quality standards and maintenance of those standards over your other competitors. So it is not just the denomination is not just about how much it would cost. The denomination is also about the quality of output, the availability of a system. All those are factors that could be considered. Now, the main crux of this whole webinar is role of AI tools in workforce optimization. So now we what we're going to do now, since the overview is set, we're going to go explore different tools, explore different processes that could effectively optimize your workforce. Now, why do we need this? So similar to the question that was asked before, why do we need workforce management? Now, challenges faced by modern workforces, or workforces that are set standards where AI tools and not a lot of productivity tools are used, is inefficient handling of repetitive tasks. As in, a task could obviously a task set in place would be handled repetitively, but there could be chances of human error. There could be chances of mismanagement, loss of maybe a small. So you have loss in errors. Now, communications bottlenecks. So it moving up the chain would always have different kinds of bottlenecks. So it could be that there is a large team, but the large team has to filter through a smaller team for a certain process and then be handled by another larger team. Now, your middle team always causes a bottleneck, or the middle person. Now, it doesn't have to be a large team. It could be just a three-man operation where one of the people are not there for the day. Now, when one of the persons not there for the day and the process is dependent on that person, what happens is it becomes a bottleneck. Now, time consuming document management. So this is more in terms of the document collection bot that we're going to later discuss, but the whole process or the whole cycle for doing this is a very time consuming and a very expensive process when it comes to making humans do it. Now, availability is another huge aspect where when it is in the modern workforces, to be 24/7 available would mean that you would have to run multiple shifts, and these multiple shifts would have multiple processes and multiple setbacks by its own, because now what will happen is you have a shift now from one shift A to shift B. You would also have to have a transfer of information where, say, there are certain tasks that have to be carried from one shift to another. They have to be mentioned to the other person. Now, in that process, if there is a communication mishap, there will be tasks that are not carried over. So there is a lot of challenges that are faced. I wouldn't say issues, but there are challenges, and systems are always designed to overcome challenges. So how AI tools address these challenges? So automated routine tasks. So now a lot of processes, even today, if you look at it, you can optimize and automate these processes. Now, it could be things like calling, it could be like we mentioned earlier, document collection. All those processes can be streamlined, can be handled in a much more efficient manner. So you by automating or setting processes in systems, these systems can take over those sections which would otherwise be a very redundant task for humans to do. Now, streamlining communication and information flow, when I mean how we streamline communication is, since it's managed by systems, you don't have a chance of uh, maybe a alteration in data or a data mismanagement when it moves from one system to another. It is more like saying when you're playing the game Chinese Whisper, you have a stream of people, and when each person says it, there is a change. There is a slight change. It doesn't have to be a big change. Similarly, when it is handed from a human resource to a human resource, there can be a small alteration in data, not intentional, but it is part and parcel of the process. But now when you think about it in a system, you have data, you have ones and zeros. The ones and zeros present on this system would be the ones and zeros that are sent to this system. There would not be a change in data. And another advantage is there won't be any sort of bottleneck. All systems are shared. You can have different systems. You can have systems with shared resources, so that you can overcome bottlenecks. Now, enhanced decision making process, your decision making processes would be much faster. What I mean by making a decision making process would be much faster is that if you have, say, for example, a person or a L1 support, someone sitting in an L1 support. Now, if there is a question he doesn't know, but it is present in your FAQ, what he could easily do is he could look up his FAQ, type the question, get the answer, tell it to the person. But there is a small difference in, or there is some time that is wasted in that process. Rather, if you had a bot that had a good LLM and a good FAQ system, what will happen is any question, regardless of how simple or how complicated the question is, if there was a bot, if the bot was trained to answer that question, a simple question or a complicated question would have the same time to get a reply, which would be almost instantaneous. Now, like we mentioned before, in the challenges, availability was a huge thing. Similarly, how to address that was having a system that is 24 bar 7 operational. When you have a system that is 24 bar 7 operational, the advantages are that you can work year round. You don't have holidays, you don't have sick leaves, you don't have weekly offs, you have nothing. You have a system, and that system is set. That system works as long as you decide to not make a change to the system. You want to improve the system, you want to increase how much processes the system can handle, well and good. We can develop the system to do that. Now, otherwise, as long as there is nothing happening to the system and the system is made to handle what it is trained to do, it will handle it perfectly. Now, mm, setting that, setting the pace for that, we will start with what are bots. So throughout this whole lecture, throughout this whole webinar, what we're going to talk about is what are bots. So uh, different kinds of bots. So to get a just a rough definition in your head about what bots are designed to perform automated tasks. Now, these tasks do not have to be exactly the same task every time. It can have different aspects to it. It can do a conditional based. If this happened, then do this. If this happened, then do this. Or you can set more fluid rules to it so that it can also have a concept, or it can also have a decision making process. So that is where the artificial intelligence section of a bot comes. So earlier bots could be just a strict hierarchy of if and else. If this happens, do this. If this happens, do this. But now when you introduce systems like artificial intelligence into this, what happens is that you can have different types of activities that could almost simulate what humans do. Now, again, like we mentioned in the earlier example, it would perform tasks much faster. Say, not just answering an FAQ. Say today you want to, you're talking to a person and you want to get your get some sort of document. You want to ask him for your, you go to a bank teller. You go to a bank teller and ask him for your 6 months bank statement. The bank tellers look it up in the system and give it to you. But rather, if it is a bot that is already synced with your banking system, what happens is instantaneously you can just get this data. So you don't have to go to the bank, wait there, meet the teller, get it. All this is simply done in maybe on your phone, or as simple as sending a mail, or even on a phone call. Now, no human intervention. So no, when I say no human intervention, there till it is, again, like I mentioned, it is till the time that you don't want to make any change or you don't want to do anything to it. Obviously, we can set up the system in a way that if the bot finds a process where he wants the human to intervene, it can be passed to a human. Another good example of this would be, say, some of our clients, what they want is that the booking process for, say, hotels, their booking process till the booking information is given is handled by the bot. But to close the case, they want to transfer it to a human. So all that can be done. Now, reduced errors is very key, because as it is more like saying, if you teach the bot errors, it will learn errors. If you don't teach the bot errors, it won't give you an error, or it won't give the wrong statement or a wrong process, because it is what you have taught it that it knows. It is nothing outside that sphere that it will perform or it will act. Now, improve over time. So bots can be improved over time. There is a continuous learning process. It is just not the fact that now today you have set up the bot to answer a set of questions. Now tomorrow and set of questions and perform a set of actions. And this is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone when it comes to models like this. These models can be continuously developed. These models can be continuously trained, developed, introduced to different languages, introduced to different tasks. So the bot grows the bot gets better or grows with time. As you can see, even in the modern world today, all the AI examples, every AI model that comes out is better than the last. So everyone is trying to improve the AI model so that we can get an almost near to human experience. So ideally, to summarize what bots are in our context would be, you can think of bots as a 24 bar 7 efficient employee. They don't need to take a leave. They won't make an error. They can continuously improve over time, and they will do the task as instructed by them. So a 24 bar 7 efficient employee. So these are what bots are. So obviously it is not that, say, today, if the bot doesn't know to do a task, you will obviously have to tell it to do a task, but that is in terms of anybody. So bots are a 24 bar 7 efficient employee. So what we'll look into, the different types of bots that we will look into in today's webinar would be chatbots, voice bots, and docbots. So as we go through this, I'll give you use cases. Also, in the bottom, there would be a number in terms of a chatbot and a voice bot, where you can call, you can message this number, call these numbers, so that even you can have a real feel of it. I will also show it on during the webinar, but even after the webinar, you feel free to go. These are all live demos set up by us, so that each and every one of you can experience it. Only once you experience it, do you get the real thrill of the system. So so we'll start with what a chatbot. So chatbots are virtual assistants that can handle text-based conversations. Now, these text-based conversations does not have to be a keyword. As in earlier, when bots were designed, it was bots used to just check in your given text. If these keywords were present, that meant it was this. For example, if you can see an example here, is there a pool? It is since pool is there, it understood. Earlier bots would understand it is a pool, but now this doesn't mean that it is understanding natural language. That is just a string comparison. But rather now, because our bots are trained to understand natural language, you don't have to use the keyword pool as well. You can all just go and ask the bot, can I go for a swim here, or is there a pool? So it understands natural languages so that it can make sense of it. So it is doing this by a very ML process where natural language is converted to entities and intents. So intent recognition, all those processes are there. So another advantage of having chatbots is the fact that you have rich media. So you can do images, PDFs, you can have documents, you can ask the customers to share their location. So you have a rich set of media. So depending on the platform that you use, you can have different types of medias that are allowed by the platform. So um, now, types of chatbots would ideally be segregated into three. So you have the very basic level chatbots, which are rule-based chatbots. So taking maybe WhatsApp as an example for the platform, because everyone here is familiar with WhatsApp. The It would be more a menu-driven chatbot. The rule-based chatbot is so similar to a menu-driven chatbot, where you would have a question, you have options, you have buttons or lists on WhatsApp. Based on those options, we would take the conversation ahead. Now, LLM-based chatbots are chatbots. Coming to the next one, LLM-based chatbots are chatbots that can have FAQs. So it can be trained. It has a knowledge base. So based on what it is trained, it would reply, it would answer questions, it would perform actions. So all that. So it is a large language model. So it will answer any sort of questions that it is trained to do. Now NLP. So NLP based chatbots are the next type of chatbots, where obviously LLM based chatbots are also NLP based chatbots. But NLP based chatbots, why we segregated as another category is that NLP based chatbots do much more. Now, NLP based chatbots, why I say do much more is NLP based chatbots can give you recommendations, it can answer FAQs, at the same time, it can do bookings for you. So when I say it can do bookings for you, a good example is, say, let's take the resort example itself. Now, if I was going to book a room at the resort, a general flow or an earlier before the whole AI system and an NLP based chatbot was set into place, how it would be asked is please mention which is your starting date, check-in date, and then I would have to give that answer. Checkout date, I would have to give that answer. What kind of room I would. So it is a bunch of questions and answers that I would have to fill. But rather here now, what I can do is I can go and I can send a message to the bot saying I would like to book a room on the 15th for 5 people, which is the luxury room. Now the bot already understood that I want to book a room for 5 people, so the number of people are 5, check-in date is 15, the room type is luxury room. Now the only information that the bot needs is how many days how many days am I staying or when is my checkout. So then the bot automatically identifies that that is the only information that is required. So that is the only thing that the bot would ask back. So it has the advantage of understanding what people are saying and then frame questions according to it. Now, to give it a more clear idea, you can think of NLP-based chatbots as a superset, and now in a subset of the NLP-based chatbots are the LLM chatbots, and a subset of that would be the rule-based chatbot. So as you move in, the level of understanding of the bot reduces, but on the superset, on the NLP-based chatbot, the NLP-based chatbot is the most powerful model which can book rooms, handle booking conversations, handle answers, and all on multiple types of questions. Now, like I mentioned before, the bots are multi-platform, as in it can run on WhatsApp, it can run on Instagram, it can run on Telegram. So, depending on the platform and the flexibility of the APIs that the platform provides, we can always have chatbots running it. Now, say it is not any of these platforms, it is an independent platform developed by, say, party X. We can also provide a widget which can be inserted into that chatbot or into that application so the chatbot can run. So that is about chatbots. Um, Now, use cases of chatbots would be customer support. So chatbots would be IDD or L1 support, and these bots would help, say, answer the first level of questions for your lower level troubleshooting. Now, at any point, like I mentioned before, if the chatbot uh, cannot answer a question, what the bot could do is the bot could always transfer it to a human. So, and then what can happen later is once the human answers, we can ask the human to fill in the right answer, give it back to the bot. So the next time this question comes up, the human does not have to handle it again. So it would be just a few instances before the bot can handle all related questions. Similar to that is booking agents. Like I mentioned before, you can have any type of booking, hotel reservations, room reservations, uh, your flight tickets, your travel tickets, any sort of booking, even if it's a dinner reservation at a hotel, all this can be done on the bot. So you are optimizing the process where even another instance that we have witnessed is that even for our clients that have hotels, a lot of their bookings happen in the night. Now, in the night is when everyone who's going to book comes back from work and wants to book. At the same time, it is when they also have people, no people in shift. So what we have set up is that the bot would handle these questions, and the bot would give people the rough pricing and the booking. The next day morning, the person just had to call them and close the deal. So you are not losing a lead, you're not losing a customer. Now, similar to that is order status, where you have different types of like a lot of all of us are familiar with ordering online, and you would like to know your order status. Or it does not just have to be an order status for booking, it could be also things like you could have a whole shop that is running through a chatbot. You can, maybe I go there and I ask, I want to see blue men's t-shirts, so the bot sends me pictures of different types of blue men's t-shirts, and I say yes, this one, and then the order is confirmed. We can do multiple processes like that. So what we could do is, if I will also share this later on as well. If anyone wants to try this, there is a number given here. You can just message this number, send a hi. So it goes to one of our implementations of a booking bot. You can go through the whole bot, you can try it. And if you have any doubts, any questions, you feel free to ask us. Mm. So I hope chatbot is clear to everybody. Again, like I mentioned before, if you have any doubts or queries, just leave it in the chat. We will come back to it at the end of the whole presentation. So what are voice bots? So voice bots are similar to chatbots, except voice bots are on a voice channel. So you can have a conversation with the bot rather than typing. You can have a real-time conversation with the bot. Now, similar to chatbots, these bots can understand human language. I can talk to the bot just like I'm talking to you now. I can talk to the bot, and the bot would understand what I'm saying. And these bots does it like a very big advantage of these bots are the fact that it can handle multiple languages. So by multiple languages, we mean that our model is trained to understand and translate over 103 languages. So there are Indian regional languages, there are languages abroad. So we have English, Spanish, German, Hindi, Marathi, any set of languages. I think we have a good coverage with the models that we use, where you can converse in multiple languages. So you can speak to the bot in a language, and the bot can reply also in the same language. Now, these bots, what I would like to show you is maybe I can just, so these bots can be over your telephone itself. So we'll first go through an example where I speak to the bot in English, and then after that, I will speak to the bot in maybe I will speak to the bot in I would speak to the bot in Hindi, and then both cases the bot would understand.
Please check your connection.
Yeah, so this is me speaking to the bot in English.
Hello, this is Priya calling from Bajaj Finance. Am I speaking to Krishna?
Yes.
As per the records, you are a recipient of loan number 3819 with an EMI amount of 950. Please confirm if the payment can be done by today.
No, I can't make the payment today.
Well, I would like to inform you that delay or non-payment of EMI will lead to penalty charges. I recommend you to make the payment today to avail a discount of 41% on the processing fee of your next loan. If you would like to know any more details, please feel free to ask, else say no.
Who are you?
My name is Priya. I am calling from Bajaj Finance. If you would like to know any more details, please feel free to ask, else say no.
No.
Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
So that is an example. So I've just asked it a simple question, but I can also, it is trained for a lot of questions where it can answer things like how can I refinance? How can I get another loan? So it purely depends on what kind of data you train it on. Now, similar to the example that you just saw, I can also do this in Hindi. So
हेलो, बजाज फाइनेंस से प्रिया कॉल कर रहा है. मैं पॉलोस के लिए बात कर रहा हूँ.
yes.
रिकॉर्ड के अनुसार आप 10,120 पैसे की EMI राशि के साथ ऋण संख्या 2518 के प्राप्त करता है. कृपया पुष्टि करें कि क्या भुगतान आज तक किया जा सकता है.
नहीं कर सकता.
खैर, मैं आपको सूचित करना चाहूंगा कि EMI की देरी या गैर भुगतान के कारण दंड शुल्क लगेगा. मैं आपको अपने अगले ऋण के प्रसंस्करण शुल्क पर फौरन प्रतिशत की छूट का लाभ उठाने के लिए आज ही भुगतान करने की सलाह देता. So that is me having a conversation with the bot in Hindi. So it can handle multiple languages. Mr. Venura, I'll take up questions after the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions now, you can please leave it at the end of on the chat, and we'll take it up at the end. I saw your hands raised, so. Yeah, so coming back to that, so I hope everyone's got a brief idea of how voice bots work. So now, like I mentioned before, you can transfer these to humans. So when I say you can transfer these to humans, what I mean is that you can any instance where you want to transfer it. It could be an instance where the bot doesn't know what the answer is. It could be another specific instance defined by you that you want to say transfer this to the human. It could be, like I mentioned before, at the end of a booking, or it could be at a deal closure stage, or it could be that if it's a qualified lead. All these statuses you can transfer it to the human. Now there is no DTMF required. That is a huge jump from what we have now.
So for example, no DTMF required. So like now the whole conversation, I had my hands free. I didn't have to hear the call, press a button, hear the call, press a button, nothing like that. And I didn't have to memorize the whole press one for this, press two for this. I just had to say what I wanted throughout the whole flow because it was as if I was talking to a human. So that is the whole advantage of voice bots. It is you are almost getting a feeling that you are talking to the human, and at the same time you are not talking to a human, but for an organization that is setting this up, it is a huge value addition. It is a huge um, uh, conservation in terms of resources, energy, costs, everything. So that is in terms of what a voice bot is. Now, use cases, you have hospitals. Hospitals have a long or a lot of use cases in voice bots where you can have booking appointments, you can call people. So voice bots just purely does not have to be inbound calls. Voice bots could be outbound calls as well. Now, in a hospital case, it is a mix of inbound and outbound. We can have a case where you have appointments. So say I booked an appointment today at 12, through the voice bot saying maybe a conversation meant like I would like to book an appointment with a nutritionist. The bot would ask me which nutritionist, these are the two available nutritionists. Then I would go and select or tell one of the nutritionist names, and then based on the time slot, so we can integrate it with other systems so that it knows what shift, what time, what schedule, and then makes an appointment. Similarly, that would be for an inbound call, but again, outbound call, maybe half an hour before, a call could go out, and the outbound call could ask the person, you have an appointment with so and so doctor at so and so time, please confirm if you are coming for the appointment. So this helps the whole process. This helps not having a person or not having a team there that just checks, sits and does appointments. It is just maybe the whole thing is taken over by maybe one, two use server just sitting there and handling the whole process. Now, debt collection. Debt collection is something you heard in the demo as well, where it can have multiple flows. People can ask multiple questions. Now, this can have different scenarios based on what stage of the debt collection it is. So scripts can be changed. All that is possible when you talk about debt collection, even in terms of banking. So like my earlier example where I mentioned that you would have to go to a bank, you would have to talk to the teller, say you have an issue with your card. Now, to resolve that issue, you would have to go on a hotline. Now, talking to them, what will happen is that you'll have to wait in queue. Once you wait in queue, you'll reach one of the customer support executives. They'll have to look it up. All these processes can be avoided. You're giving instant support to your customer base. Now, when you give that sort of response to your customer base, your customers also value their interaction with you. They like the support. Better support always resonates to better customer retention. So that is in terms of banks. So again, like the chatbot where you could message a number and check the live demo, you can also try a call yourself. You can just dial this number. Once you dial the number, you can have a conversation with the bot. Yeah. So now that is in terms of a voice bot. And now coming to Docbots. So Docbots are um, very interesting, and it is what it is where you will it almost takes off a whole chunk of a current existing process what happens in the modern workforce, where you are it is where most probably this presentation is going to shine in terms of showing you how we are optimizing a process. So what is a Docbot? Docbot is a document collection bot. So it basically helps organizations collect documents. That's a very brief summary. So how this works is we have a platform. Now on the platform, you can create a campaign. So when I say create a campaign, you obviously give a campaign a name. You can tell the campaign, in the campaign, you would say, I would need these three documents. I would need these three documents. Maybe I would need his passport, his diploma certificate, and his yeah, okay, say passport and diploma certificate, and then I would upload a set of leads. or upload a set of contacts to which these two documents are supposed to be collected. Now, what happens is only these first two processes require human intervention from the organization side. Now, as we go further down the slide, I will also show you where you just would have to create the campaign, and then not even the first two processes, even just the first process of creation of a campaign would be required. Obviously, the AI hasn't gone so far that it can read your mind and create the campaign. So you would have to create a campaign and tell these are the documents that are required. After that, the system would take over. So now, once you upload the leads, an automatic message would go to these leads. Now, asking for saying maybe thank you for joining the internship program. Please upload your passport and please upload these following documents. The person uploads the documents. Now, once the person uploads the documents, it then in the CRM, in the customer relationship management system where you created the campaign, you would see all your leads. You would see what their current status is. Is it in process? Is it complete? Now you would only have to filter by complete documents, and then your team would just have to look if these documents are verified. Now, even where this happens, this verification, if for a lot of standard government documents, what can be done now is it can be auto verified. So your visas, your passports, all of them can be auto verified. So even at this step, you would not I need a you would not need human intervention there. So now, say for example, a document did not get verified, or there is an issue. It does not have to be a wrong document. It could be just that the document is not very clear, or the document maybe it's not in up to the standard for approval. What will happen is you can just have to mark the document for re-verification. It will automatically send a message to the customer asking, please re-verify, re-upload this document, and it would continue this life cycle. So what would happen earlier is that each person would have to be called. That person, you would have to tell that person, okay, please upload your document. Once you upload this document, you would have to once you upload this document, what you would do is you would have to maybe get it in mail or some sort of process like that, where he would have to enter these details. Now, the person who's verifying has to check it. So it's a long, tedious process. Now, what has happened is the whole process is streamlined. Now, once it is approved, we can also send a confirmation message with saying thank you and maybe an offer letter or some other process that can take over. So this is a document collection bot. So if you look at it in a slightly further detail, like screenshots from the application itself, like I mentioned before, you have a campaign name, you create a campaign, which is the create campaign step 1. After that, you just list what kind of document. So document name, what type of document size, if there is a verification URL. This is what I meant by where you could have a third party independently verify this, which it could be them doing it manually, it could be a bot over there as well, and which campaign this belongs to. Once this list is done, you can upload, and then like I mentioned before, you have your contact name, number, and then current status. So statuses would change from in process. So started, in process when the messages are sent. Once the person has uploaded all the documents, he would be completed. Once the verification of the documents is done, it would be verified. Now, sorry, another process or another step of that process or another status of that process would be re-verified. So send for re-verification would tell you this person's documents have been sent for re-verification. So what happens is, at a glance, say you upload 10,000 numbers, at a glance you would know how many people how many has it been successfully sent to, how many are in process, how many are completed, how many are verified. So this helps you throughout the whole life cycle of the process. Now, even when we come to the later parts of the slide, you will also see pure cost comparisons, which would help you understand how what is the huge difference between these two and why we enforce on workforce optimization. Now, like I mentioned before, you have one process of document verification is lead upload. as in you can upload a set of leads. Now, say for example, it is a process where you don't have a set of leads. It has to generate a set of leads. It could be, say, you're running an employment drive or a government scheme. You don't know who's going to apply to it. Now, in those cases, it doesn't have to be, it won't be a lead upload. What it would be is you can have maybe a person, it could be a published phone number, and then you can call the published phone number, and then automatically the lead would be entered in the system, and the whole uh, document collection life cycle would start. Similarly, on maybe on print media or on a poster, it could be a QR code saying, to join the program, scan the QR code. Scan the QR code, it would make it an entry, and it would take you to, say, WhatsApp, and you just have to say, send a hi message, and then he would be added as a lead. Now, it's just not these two. If you want another level of confirmation where you can have outcall to confirm, meaning that when you speak, you can have a number, you call the number, say, welcome to astTECS internship program. To confirm that you would be part of the internship, please say yes. Once a person says yes, will only this whole life cycle start. So all these processes can be methods of input to start the lead document collection life cycle. So use cases would be onboarding, HR onboarding, large companies, lots of documents, lots of manual processes where you have to verify, cross-verify, collect documents, make sure all documents are collected to meet compliances. Now, all this can be avoided by just anytime a new person joins, upload his details, upload the documents that you need, upload the documents that you want to collect, and the system would take over. Same government services, maybe it is a government exam or a government employment scheme. All these, the document collection process is a very tedious and a very long process, because of also the fact that you are talking about large numbers. You're talking about numbers where any scheme or anything like that, you're talking about numbers where you would need exponential manpower in comparison to the number of documents to successfully complete it in a given time frame. Now, because of that, it is a very good resource in government doc services or general KYCs as well. So general KYCs for businesses, for certain processes, you need to have a KYC. KYC stands for know your customer. So it is to have, maybe it is for a vendor listing or some other process where you need to collect documents. So these are use cases, these are problems where redundant tasks can be more efficiently handled. Now, yeah. So what are the advantages? So, okay, so main advantage, or well, there are a lot of advantages apart from what we have seeing on the screen here. But the few I have listed is 24/7 availability. Like I mentioned, efficient employee does not have to take a day off, does not have to maybe go for a wedding, go for a marriage, nothing. It's going to run, it will run once a process is set in place. There is no change in the process. Quick response. So we have seen multiple examples of this also during this whole presentation, where you have quick responses to questions, no matter how complex it is. So if the system or if the bot is trained to answer these questions, the bot would always answer these questions. No matter how complicated it is, a question that is simple to the hardest question, it would ideally take the same time. Handle multiple requests. So this is a huge thing. So when you have a system in place, the system can handle multiple given requests at the same time. What I mean by this is that if you have a person, a human can handle maybe one chat or two chats at a given time. But then, for example, when you have a chatbot employed, this single chatbot can handle as many requests as the hardware is configured for. So a good hardware, it can concurrently handle a huge number of processes, handle a huge number of chats, and then it would obviously give your customers a better satisfaction because they are instantly being supported. Now, integration. These a key a key feature for these systems such as this is the fact that they are available to integrate. So we have a very strong team of developers, and even from our AI and machine learning team to our development team and our R&D team, there is a very strong team of developers. So what happens is that they are, so any system, so this, for example, now in your hospital case, you have integration with maybe your hospital management system, or in your hotel case, you have your hotel management system, or in your office case, you have your CRM. So integration with any of these systems is possible. And as long as APIs and the third-party systems are available for integration, you can integrate it. No human error. So again, like I mentioned, if you teach the system correctly, the system cannot give wrong answers. So you cannot have the same errors that could be made because of a slight misunderstanding or something like that from a human. Multi-language, like we heard, it can have it will support multi-languages, just not on the voice bot. It could be on the chatbot, it could be on the Docbot. It can converse with people in multi-language. Now, employee reduction. So this is a very hard, but it is what it is, where you will have an employee reduction, as in now, even in the next slide, when I go to it, I will show you a cost comparison also, why organizations might have an employee reduction. But it is not that employees, it is not about, the whole objective is to optimize the process. So it is like saying when automatic welding tools came in the factory, all the people who were welding lost jobs, but it also gave opportunities for people who had for more skilled labor to get jobs. So it is, you, when you're taking out a process, you are obviously filling play that void with something else. So it is not that people aren't getting jobs, it is that you are also trying to improve the knowledge of people as well. So humans also should continuously grow and develop. So what is happening is it will just take off the portion where it is not, it is a redundant task, but there are more people that are going to get jobs. Like even when AI and ML came, because of AI and ML, now half the Silicon Valley has more opportunities for jobs. So there is, it creates opportunities more, it creates more opportunities than taking opportunities away. Now, scalability. Now, in terms of scalability today, say you're a 5-member team and tomorrow you grow to a 30-member team. Now, to get the resources, get the extra 25 people, all that would be a huge task in terms of HR, in terms of your top management, everything. So rather now today, if you were a 5-member team, tomorrow you want to do the same capacity as a 30-member team, you would have to do nothing. The system would handle your overhead, where most probably your 5-member team also you can further optimize, bring it down to a 3-member team where you can have more processes handled by the system and less processes handled by the team itself. Um, so resource optimization. So a summary of all these above points comes down to resource optimization, where you save on time, you save on money, you save on costs, you're saving on errors, you're improving customer satisfaction, you're increasing your reach with multiple languages. So you are doing much more with lesser resources, which is ideal for any given situation. So now, this is another point that I wanted to talk about. So we talked about voice bots, we talked about chatbots, we talked about docbots. Now, we talked about them till now as independent systems that did their functionality. Now, you can also think possibilities where these systems work with each other. So what I'm saying is you can have a Docbot, and then at a given stage, you can have a voice bot and a given stage pass it to a Docbot. Some examples would be things like having immigration, study abroad processes, post check-in. So taking one of those processes would be, say, immigration. So say for example, you want to send someone's going abroad, they can always call a number, ask, I want to apply for a visa to Italy. Now, the voice bot could tell it all the processes. If the person's okay and ready to move ahead, the bot would say that, yes, okay, thank you. I will transfer you to the document collection team. The document collection team will collect your documents and take it forward from here. And then the Docbot would send the message and continue the process. So you can combine systems. And I'm not saying you just voicebot and Docbot or voicebot and chatbot. It could be voicebot, chatbot, and Docbot. So it could it could be a mix and match of any of these systems that ultimately make the best solution. Again, a voice bot to a chatbot, a very interesting concept for a voice bot to a chatbot is that if, for example, you are having a conversation with the bot on the phone, now when this conversation happens, you can parallelly show it pictures on or show it documents on the phone. So say, for example, I'm calling a car dealership and I'm asking about a car. So this is one of the scenarios where we have implemented it, where you're on the car, you're talking to the car dealer, and then you tell the car dealer, you're obviously the bot of the car dealer, and you say, I'm interested in knowing about so and so car. The bot automatically, the voice bot will tell the chatbot, trigger this message to the customer. So it would send the whole specs and the pictures of the car. So another advantage is the person has the pictures, has every information that he requires in front of him, and then he can ask further questions about it. So you are handling a very good process, and you're almost qualifying the person to be a potential customer. Now, all these can again be worked into a CRM as well for your logging, for your client management, all that. So yeah, so now we've been throwing around the keyword optimizing. One way to maybe measure this is put a real number on. So when we put real numbers in it, so let's say this is an example that I just roughly calculated, where you had 10,000 documents that had to be collected. Now, if you had 10,000 documents to be collected, you would need, say, number of agents would be 100. You need 100 people to sit, call, ask the person to submit these documents. Once these documents are submitted, verify it, re-verify it. At the same time, you would only, okay, we'll go through the manual process first. You would need 100 people, total salary, say an average salary of 15,000 rupees into 100 would be 15 lakhs. And this is for a month. Now, for a month, and total infrastructure. So say you have 10,000 documents, and so you have 10,000 rupees, 100 people. So that is again 10 lakhs in infra itself. So what happens is you have a total expense of 25,000. But then you look at the document collection bot. What happens is the number of agents would be 10. And this is, I'm talking about a document collection bot where you have a manual verification process, wherein a human is still verifying it. Apart from the verification, everything is automated. So already your manpower cost comes down to 10. Now, when you calculate their salaries compared to the 15 lakh salary, here you're paying 1.5 lakhs. Now, you have your other expenses. You obviously have your Docbot fee. Say, for example, the Docbot fee is 50 rupees into 10,000 documents, into 10,000 used people. So then plus say the overhead of the person, which is 10,000 into 10. So then you would have a total of 7.5 lakhs. So where is 7.5 lakhs in cost compared to 25 lakhs in cost? And this is just for this. Now, you have to keep in mind that the manual process also, we have calculated salary for a month, and this definitely would not finish in a month, because to verify 10,000 documents by 100 people would be a very big effort, which will not happen in a month. But so you would have more months for this. Again, now your total expense in manual process would increase, but that same expense would not reflect in your Docbot, except the salaries for these 10 people. So where is a 15 lakh increase every month, 15 plus maybe 10, 25 lakh increase every month
compared to a 1.5 lakh increase every month, because the Docbot users, Docbot can charge on per document collection. So then it would not have the similar charge. So if the process takes over the next month also, your 25 lakhs cost suddenly becomes a 50 lakh cost. But on the same side, your 7.5 lakh cost would become just 9.5 lakhs, 9 lakhs, sorry, it would be just 9 lakhs. So your difference in cost as these months go ahead is also in for a manual process an exponential increase. At the same time, in the document collection bot, it is just a gradual increase, or it's almost insignificant increase. So I would like to conclude by saying, sorry. I would like to conclude by saying, start the definition. So going back to our initial slide where what is workforce management? So what is workforce management? So workforce management clearly has three main processes. I think all of you would have understood by now efficiency, effectiveness, and utilization, and how these three keywords have been playing in and out and are the core reasons for development of such processes. And by processes, what I mean is the kind of processes that we have set into place now, which is the Docbot, the Chatbot, and the Voicebot. These three will definitely help optimize your current systems and your current processes. So thank you, everyone. This is the end of my webinar. I hope it was informative. A little about us: we are a telecommunications company that does we are a telecommunications company that is into telecom. So the core of our system has always been communication. So even documents, or even systems that you see, even AI systems that you see that are built, are the core is always held as telecom, which is something that we are very strong in. It is about communicating with different people in the most efficient and most fruitful manner. So we are based in Bangalore. We have multiple offices around India and all throughout the world as well. We deal with IPPBX, call center solutions, PA systems, CRMs, again, bots, and many more things. So if you would like to know more about us, or even look into some of our demos that I showed you here today, please feel free. If you would require any clarification, we can share my details as well as my team's details. You can get in touch with our sales as well, and they can take you through this whole process. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the whole webinar.
Wonderful presentations on how AI tools can optimize the workforce and reduce the costs in the organizations. And I think can you just skip the slide where the voice bot number is displayed, because many of people has asked. I have already shared the link and the number in the chat box. But in the meantime, they can also see the number so that if they want to try it out. Okay, thank you. So let us move to the question and answer sessions. There are lots of questions coming in from the participants, which they want to get the informations about our AI tools. And also, before starting these sessions, I would like to request all the participants, if you have questions, please put in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask the questions if you have any queries. And while we are replying to your questions, which is you have already put on the chat box, you can just enable your video so that we can have a one-to-one discussions. So, okay, let us start with the first questions. The first question is come from Mr. Amulya Das. His question is that like we need a very high end hardware and the GPUs to manage this AI process? Probably this is not in the reach of the mid segment organization.
Oh yeah, so Amelia, to answer that, so it really depends on what kind of processes that you're running. So
again, so Voicebots, Chatbots, and Docbots have different requirements for hardware. So it would really, I wouldn't be able to give you a straight up answer unless we know what kind of process that you would be running. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
I think Mr. Venura has been raising his hand
Yeah,
for
yeah.
quite a
Can
long
we
time.
can we
So,
just
Mr.
go?
Venura, you can just unmute and ask the questions, whatever you want.
Hi, hi, this is Venura, and thank you very much for your highly informative session. I have a couple of questions, and I see the chat box will be there on the PABX, and when it's come to Dogbot and the other operations. So, I mean, is it mandatory requirement to have the CRM also from this solution, or else can we run this bot on the other CRMs as well as websites?
Yeah, sure. We can run it. So see, we are flexible to integrate with other CRMs as well. So it's the CRMs ideally for logging your data. So if the client has another CRM which can handle this kind of transaction and where they can provide us the necessary APIs to do this integration, we're well and good. We can do it with their other CRMs as well. It is not a requirement that this has to be the CRM. It's just that in terms of Docbots, it would be that CRM because that's what manages the whole process. But otherwise, it doesn't, even in terms of Docbots, it just has to be the client can maintain the CRM and then pass it to our CRM and the CRM would handle the process. But otherwise, in chatbots or voicebots, there is no compulsion that it has to be the CRM provided within the solution.
Okay, and there's another one more question, a quick one. So let's say we have a voice bot, and as you explain as a user case scenario, when we want to hand over the customer from the voice bot to the chatbot, sorry, Docbot. So in that case, what would how does it happen? I mean, on the voice will be on a phone, and for the Docbot, it has to be on a app or on the webs, isn't it? So, I mean, I know it will be a lengthy explanation, or else, I mean, you can just brief me. That will be that's good enough for the time being.
Yeah, so the Docbot, what we have done now is the Docbot for, see, the Docbot is a process where you want to see how people can use the bot so that it is, they don't have to install another application or it can be widely communicated. So what we have done is the Docbot is also developed on WhatsApp so that now when I say it is developed on WhatsApp, what can happen is from the voice bot, the transfer would be just a WhatsApp message on the person's phone. So it is not on the web browser.
All right.
And since we have the person's phone number, we would send it to that same number.
Right. Okay, then the chatbot and the Dogbot both will be on the same number on the WhatsApp, no?
Correct. We can do it on WhatsApp, yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abu. Thank you, Mr. Venera. Okay, Abu, can you just display the voice bot number as well?
Sure. This is the voice. No, this is
this is the chatbot.
Chatbot number. 1 second.
Yeah. Thanks. Let's move on to the next question. The next question has come from Mr. Srizit. He said that are these AI solutions beneficial for the hotel industry, considering there are already many platforms for booking hotels? He is operating a business in Zanzibar where the hotel industry is very competitive. So I would appreciate if you give some insights on this.
Okay, so what we have recognized with our clients also, sir, I think it would be nice if you could try the WhatsApp chatbot that is shared as well. That is a real implementation. So what we have learned is that even at a competitive scale, because it is competitive, makes it more reasons to have it, because you don't want to have that loss of time when you have loss of time or where you have interaction with the lead. So a chatbot would be that instantaneous action that you have when a lead is registered, which would keep the customer occupied, and it would have better response because the customer thinks that you are active, you are 24/7 operation. So yes, it will really help in a very competitive industry. It is almost saying that it's helping you split from the competition. Yes.
Okay. About maybe I could just add to it. See the the WhatsApp bot or the chat bot is not necessarily replacing the website. Because these informations are available on the website, but the user is generally lazy to go through the website and filter through the information. Generally, we always tell that, oh, I would like to speak to an agent or a person there, so that I can get the information as fast as possible. Nobody wants to really read everything on the website and then take out the information. So the chatbot and voice bot, they are replacing the human element, not necessarily a website or a while, because many people, I mean, one is that people who are older does not like to go to website and online and all those stuff. They just want to talk to a assistant and get their things done. Otherwise, also many people prefer, because they feel it is faster to just work with a human person. And now we are trying to create that experience for the customer, the human experience for the customer, which obviously the website cannot manage. I just wanted to add to this.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think Mr. Srizit is raising a hand. Mr. Srizit, you can unmute and ask if you have any further questions.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
So can you hear me now, right?
Yes,
Yeah, we can
yes.
hear you. We
Is
can
it audible? Yes, I got it. So, for example, okay, for example, there is one hotel industry. They have more than 1,000 hotel. So, what kind of solution I can give to that organization? In what kind of solution to AI solution to give to that organization to improve their manage all the customers in the hotel industry? Can you give, because I can, if I because I know some IT managers in the big hotels, so then I can go and I can communicate with them. So can you give any suggestion for that, or how I can do that kind of meetings? If you have any person to help me to do that,
I
so
think
can you give any
Yeah.
yeah. I think the example, I think the chatbot link what we have given is exactly from a hotel industry, where one of our customers, they have this interactive session. I think maybe you should go through that experience, because the customer is coming and asking, do you have a pool? Or what time does the sauna open? Or, any type of questions. And that obviously is applicable to every hotel. Also, we have actually catered to a group of hotels. That is, I think Abu might know the website or the chat message.
Yeah, I can share that as well.
Climate friendly. So this is a group of hotels where they have a climate friendly hotels organized under one umbrella. But then the user can go there and ask, okay, I would like to have something in the sea, or I would like to go for snorkeling. So which hotels you suggest? So then, some 3-4 suggestions come up. So like that, in an interactive manner, they can communicate. I think Abu can provide you the link.
Sure. I'll share the
Mm.
link as well. I'll share.
Okay. So, do you have
And
any? So you have those experience in that hotel industry? You already give any
yeah.
solution for that?
Yeah, we've given
Uh,
multiple solutions in the hotel industry for bots.
So I think the chatbot link what we have already provided as a demo is also from a resort only in near in Karnataka. And see, once you have a appointment with the IT administrator, you can also connect with us. We will also come on call. We can demonstrate all these things. We can try to get the requirements from them.
Yeah, that would be also better. Okay. If I go there, then I'll inform through the regional manager of the Africa region. Okay.
You can connect us, and we will take you through entire requirement analysis, and we will advise you how to proceed. And demos also can be arranged.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Srizit. Let us move to the next question. So, next question has come from Mr. Prabhakaran. He said that can we make a similar image search from a lot of designs input? Please clarify.
Okay, so Prabhakaran, so you're from Titan, sir?
Yeah, sir, it's from Titan.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. So we talked about this. Yes, so we can look into this. So we can try do a OpenCV comparison or an image comparison as well. We can look into this and see more. We would need more specific details on it, but yes, we can look into models that does this.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Next question is from Mr. Binish. Do we require a special hardware to run these bots?
I think
I think that
it's
question was already
already
answered by
answered.
Amulya.
But
Okay.
also, just 1 second for this. See,
Yes, sir.
I would like to shortly answer that. See, surely we need special hardware to run these things. Basically, one is called the GPU. Surely we need a high power CPU and GPU. But then I think in the last question also it was asked, is it affordable for a SME or something? I think from an affordability perspective, it is nothing which is unaffordable or something. Surely it is slightly costlier than a normal server, but I think most of the SMEs are also using powerful servers today. So from a cost perspective, these hardwares are not. It's not that maybe a normal server we are talking about $2,000-3,000. Here maybe we might be talking about $4,000. So that is it's not that it might be $1,000-2,000 costlier, or in India rupee terms maybe 1 to 2 lakhs costlier than a normal server what they might use. So it's not that it is unaffordable for SME. I think the technology is in the reach of very much in the reach of SMEs, and that is the beauty of the AI revolution today, as against maybe AI 10-15 years back. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, another question from Mr. Amulya Das. Can I text a Hindi words in English spelling and the bot will understand?
So this we'll really have to check. So I believe it can do this. So it is something that we'll have to look and try it out, because we also haven't tried out typing it in. We have tried typing Hindi text and the bot understood it. We haven't tried typing Hindi in English text and then doing that, but we can look into it.
Okay. Mr. Tamam Ali wants to know, does it support an Arabic for the voice bot?
Mr.
Does
Tamam,
it
so the voice bots do support Arabic. So even the chatbots can be developed to support Arabic. So either of the three solutions will support Arabic. Yes. So like I mentioned before, it can support multiple languages, and Arabic is one of the languages in the module. Yes, Tamam, please ask me.
Yes, Tamam, you can unmute and ask the further question. Okay, we'll come back to him, but I think he's audible. Mr.
I think
Pradeep
he's lifting his hand. He has
He's raised his hand, but he's not saying anything. We'll wait for him to get back. We can move on and then.
Okay, Mr. Pradeep Thakur, we want a WhatsApp chat bot. Thank you. We will be contacting you later these sessions. One of my regional manager will be contacting you.
I think you have missed one question from Mr. Sailendra.
Shailendra, no. Shailendra has come on the later stage. 1 minute. Okay.
No, I think by mistake Mr. Sailendra has put me a personal message. So his question basically I can read it out. How many languages it can support? Because I was doing demo with different languages.
Our current model supports around 103 languages, which includes a lot of Indian languages as well as non-Indian languages. So when we talk about the detailed requirement of the bot, you can tell us what all languages you're looking for, and then we can tell you feasibility.
Okay.
Also, I think the most popular languages are all supported, be it French, German, regional languages. I mean, Hindi, we have seen the demo, Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam. Yeah, quite a few of the
Quite a few
languages.
languages are
I
supported by
think
default.
the list is quite big, but we can also provide you the official list.
Yeah. Thank you. That's great.
Thank you. Mr. Robert wants to know, does the Voicebot integrate with your call center solutions?
Absolutely. So the Voicebot build can integrate with our call center solution. And an advantage is that you can have a lot of the processes present in the call center handled by the Voicebot itself. And then later at a certain stage, if required, transfer it to the call center agent. So yes, the Voicebot can be integrated with our call center solution.
Okay. The next question is from Miss Julian. She wants to understand whether it support the Filipino language.
Yeah, so Filipino or Talagang, I will have to check. What I can do is, it is a very extensive list of languages. What we can check, what I'll do is I'll check and I'll get back to you via the regional manager if this is possible. I'll go through the list.
Yeah, we will confirm it back once, after checking. We have not tested, with Filipino language. It should support, we will confirm it back once tested.
Okay. Okay. A comment from Mr. Nagma. I tried the bot, but it's asking a John. I think Nagma, I have replied that this is a default demo where we have given a default name. If it is a live, it will take from the live database whatever we feed it to the bots.
Got it.
The next question, yeah. Thank you. The next question is from Miss Ruxar. Her question is, can we connect it with the ticket system? Like if we have a dead of FAQ and the user manual of software, so it can answer from that data. Some queries can be lead to LLM and hit a written automation process. If there is no answer for the questions, it should create a ticket.
So yes, Mr. Vipul, that is the ideal solution where if say like I mentioned, they can hand it over to an agent. Now, if no agent is available or by default itself, you want to create a ticket, that is also possible. So even in the chatbot example that you see here, it is that there are cases where we create tickets. So there are tickets where the bot can't answer, or it is information that is not known by the bot. We can create a ticket in your ticket management system, be it any sort of desk software, maybe Zoho Desk, Zendesk, all of them we have done integrations with. So we can create tickets.
Okay. I think Mr. Tamam is raising a hand. Mr. Tamam, you have any questions? Can you repeat? Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, Tamam.
First of all, I would like to thank you for sharing this useful presentation. My first question was answered by your side regarding the Arabic language, but I have another question related to the Voicebot. How can the Voicebot handle multiple concurrent calls with customers? I mean, can call simultaneously with different types of customers at the same time, and how it's going to be integrated with the queue system, especially related to the contact center solution.
So how that would work is that, so now your maximum number of say channels or maximum number of concurrent calls for the voice bot to handle would ideally be on two factors. It would be how many channels that you have in your telephony system itself, and also initially what the spec of your hardware is. So based on the spec of your hardware, we can design the hardware to say you want to handle 100 concurrent calls. We can give you a system design that handles 100 concurrent calls. But at the same time, if you have a system that handles 100 concurrent calls, you'd also need a telephone line that can pass 100 concurrent calls. So if those are both in place, then the call center queue process is already a process. To come to your second question, the call center queue process, it would automatically be passed. So that is a telecom side routing that we would do. So we can, from the voice bot, we can pass it to the queue if there has to be any pass to an agent at any given point of time.
So it depends mainly on the specs of the hardware of the contact center solution and
Correct.
How many channels we have.
Yes, on how many channels you have and what the hardware of the server.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Abu.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Tamam. Okay, let's move to the next questions. Next question has come from Mr. Robert. He said, how will the voice bot detail the conversations to human when the issue is being transferred to a human agent?
So we can also recognize what, so maybe if the person is, if you are, say, a bank and it is some question related to that, we can also give the whole transcription. We have an option. So in the system itself, we have an option to give the current transcription of what has happened on the call. And we can also summarize the transcription of the call. So you can have a transcription, you can have a summarize, or if the bot identifies that it is on a specific entity that the bot can't answer on, it that can also be shared. So all this information can be shared to the person, to the agent, so that the agent has a summary of what the situation is before the bot answers it. Roberts, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Abu. Mr. Robert, if you have any further query, you can unmute and ask the questions. Okay, let's move to Miss Nagma. It's not able to recognize and start with the Bazaar's loan and number. I mentioned that it is a default name. Yeah.
Got it.
So, can we have this recording from Mr. Robert? Yes, we will be sharing the recording of these sessions after the presentation. Sorry.
Okay, I'll take over. No problem. How do we get insights on the bot has made an error that may need rectification or further refinement or new development? So say there are errors that are present. Obviously, we can have a review system for the bot where maybe at a random sample rate the bot is reviewed, or if there are questions where the bot can't answer it, the bot can say raise a ticket or raise a request to learn. And what can happen is with these stages, we can continuously develop the bot using our continuous learning system. Mr. Golden, I hope that clarifies it. Please let me know if you need any more clarification.
Thank you. I think I'm answered.
Perfect. Thank you. So, Mr. Tushar, yes, we'll send you the copy over mail. To avoid machine errors from Mr. Amulya, to avoid machine errors and downtime, is it possible to build a redundancy? Yes, you can have a primary and a redundancy system. You can, similar to any server, you can have a redundancy system. So that is very much possible.
Okay.
Mr. Roberts, can the voice bot attend to multiple humans at the same time in a call center? Yes. So like similar to Mr. Tamam's question, you can have the bot have a higher concurrency. So your concurrency or the number of channels the bot can have purely depends on how many telephone lines you have and the hardware of the AI server. So yes, it can handle multiple requests at the same time, which is a very big key advantage of the bot.
I think one more question has come from Mr. Robert. Can the voice bot attend the multiple humans at the same time?
I just answered that. Yeah. So now we go to question from Mr. Jerry. Your bot is based or using which open source frameworks such as BARD or GPT in case of implementation solution? How will the training of the bot chat be handled for current FAQ? Any further new FAQs, let's say? So yes, so our bots are based on open source frameworks. So we have not just one model. It's not just BARD that we use or integrated GPT. We have multiple models that are in place that have to coexist to work. For example, we have the LLM models, we have the STT models, TTS models. We have multiple models that are set in place. And now, in case of implementation of solution, how will the training of the bot be handled? So it is a continuous training process. So when the initial requirement comes, ideally, you would give us what would be your first step for the bot, where based on that, we would implement it. And then later, as the bot progresses, we can
keep developing the model so that we also have a module where you can upload new FAQs, which would the bot would automatically train on. So that is also possible. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Jerry.
Okay, I think Mr. Jerry question is the last questions which we have attended. If any one of the participant has a further any queries, you can just unmute yourself and ask, or you can just put it in the chat box before we wrap up. So
Any live questions?
I think no more questions is coming up.
Okay.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Yes, Mr. Robert.
Yeah, this is Mr. Robert online. Just a quick question that just came through me. For the voice bots, now is it a two-way conversation, or is a bot just asking the question and expecting an answer from the user, or is it a two-way conversation?
No, so it is a two-way conversation. It can either be the bot asks questions and answers, or the bot can also give answers to the questions asked by the user. It is not it is as if both of us are having a conversation. It is a two-way conversation.
Okay, so if it is a two-way conversation, right? What security measure is in place to ensure that we don't have users trying to ask the bot some kind of reverse engineering question? You know, somebody asking the bot, "Hello, how can I make a bomb?"
No, so the bot, so like I mentioned before, the bot is trained. So it is what data you train the bot on that the bot would answer to. So obviously, if you train the bot to make a bomb, then the bot would give the person step-by-steps on to how to make a bomb. But it is for, say, for example, you're running a call center, you're doing having a, say, a hospital. It is the hospital data that you would train the bot on. So if someone asks any question outside that domain, the bot would not answer to it. So that's how you put in security, where you verify what information you are teaching the bot.
All right. So who trains the bot? Who trains the bots?
The client would train the bot. So the client would tell us what information, the client would provide us information to train the bot.
All right. All right. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think Miss Nagama has a question. Yes, Miss Nagama, you can unmute and ask the questions.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, everyone. So, Abu, I just wanted to understand this bot is integrate. We can integrate with any of the applications, means any of the CRM. There is no any bar on that, correct?
Correct. So in terms, so it is the CRM. So ours is not exactly a CRM. Ours is a data logging, and we're using the application to log data. So if your systems can provide the APIs to log data into those systems, well and good. We can do it on that as well.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question.
Thank you. So, okay, Mr. Mansukh, very nice presentation, Abu. Thank you, Mr. Mansukh, for your time and participation. Yes, we will. Yeah, Mr. Candido, can you please send us the presentations? Yes, of course, we'll be sharing you all the participants, the recording of this session as well as the presentations of the session.
I think Bellaroni has raised his hand.
Mr. Bello has a question. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Bello, you can unmute and ask the question.
Sorry, yes, thank you very much for the presentation. It was quite interesting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you. My scenario is, you know, where we are in a rural setup. This voice bot, how a hospital can attend to certain patients, not very elaborate kind of diseases, but something that can be used instead of people going long distances and attending to small clinics where the manpower or the doctors are not even available. So they can reach to a good doctor in the city, for example. It's just coming to my head. How can this user case be, for example?
So, in terms of the chatbot or the voice bot, what we could do is, but this would need a good. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Voice bot because of the literacy level.
Okay, so in terms of the voice bot as well, what we would have to do is this would need a very strong collaboration from the hospitals as well, because it would have to, it is at the end of the day, it is medical advice that you are giving. So say it would need multiple levels of scrutiny from the hospital, checking from the hospital where the data provided by the hospital is correctly given out by the bot. We can train the bot obviously on data given by the hospital, but it would need a close interaction between us and the hospitals, and it can be done. But it would need a close interaction between us and the hospital and multiple levels of secure scrutiny. But yes, so it could be that in case of any emergency, the bot could tell it maybe steps how to perform a CPR or the first aid in terms of if you're fallen down, all first aid, steps for first aid, all that can be done. But we would need close interaction from hospitals because we are not experts in the medical field.
So it's possible to develop some few cases for the let's say distance diagnostics.
Yes, it is very much possible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bello. Mr. Ebenezer, please, when do we expect this powerful presentation in our email? You will receive this presentations and the recording as soon as this session is over. We will be sending you to your email, registered email. Please check your inbox. So I don't see any further questions. So
Yes,
we
can
wrap up.
conclude. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much once again, all the participants for presenting in this webinar. I hope you have enjoyed and you have got all the informations and whatever we have tried to present on in our astTECS AI tools to optimize the workforce. As I mentioned, you will receive the recording and the presentations in your inbox. And we will be again coming up with another webinar topics. Till then, I would suggest if you have further questions on these presentation or sessions on the AI tools, you can just drop us a mail at sales@asttecs.com or info@asttecs.com.
And anybody has a live requirement or wanted to or
Yes.
planning to implement any of your customers, please get in touch with us, our sales team, and we would be happy to assist you end to end. All right.
And also we'll be sharing you the link again to the emails if you want to try out a live demo of our voice bot or of our chat bot, so that we can see and feel how our AI tools works.
Okay.
That's all. Till then, take care and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.